This is KFGO for our cause. I'm Amy Eiler. Usually here it takes two from 11 to 2, but I hang out on Sunday mornings with Neil Van Dam of the Van Dam Financial Group. Good morning.
Good morning.
And with us today, Lynn Kotrba from Harvest Hope Farm. Lynn, welcome back to KFGO.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're one of those nonprofits that I'm just obsessed with because you just keep coming up with new things to do all the time. Like you cannot sit still. Harvest Hope Farm is... Will you tell the story of how it's born? Because it's born from a labor of love of research, but it's also born out of a labor of love of family and community and animals and nature and food. And it's all of these things, right?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. We bought our farm in 2015 and knew we needed to use it as a way to give back to the community and help others. My husband was a principal at the time. He no longer is. And I was working with foster children. I no longer am.
Because you have 8 children of your own.
We have 8 kids of our own.
Yes.
We run Harvest Hope Farm. Jason does work full-time off the farm, but I run the farm full-time. And we just wanted to give back to the community. So we started brainstorming, coming up with ideas of how we could serve kids on our farm outside of our professions, and Harvest Hope Farm was born. Within that, as we were developing our first farm camps, we came across some special sheep that are used for research for Huntington's disease. That is very near and dear to my heart because my mom and sister both died from Huntington's, and I'm at risk. And we're very connected with the Huntington's disease community. So in 2018, we got our first 10 sheep that were all pregnant. Now we have a flock of about 50 ewes, 20 of whom are pregnant or having babies as we speak.
Oh my goodness.
So
It's in the water that far.
Yeah, right. So we're involved with Huntington's disease research, and then we have many camps for kids ages 3 up to age 17.
Yeah, my kiddos have been a part of those camps, and they're so cool. These are the best camps for concrete kids,
Yes.
for lack of a better term.
Yes.
If your kid is growing up in the city, I just feel like every generation we get further and further away from the farm. I grew up around farms because my aunt and my godmother and my cousins, they were all living on farms. So I just went to farms. I was on farms. But now I look at my kids and wait, they're not going to farms. How do I get them on a farm?
Yep. And that's exactly what we wanted to do, is bring those concrete kids in and teach them where their food comes from, teach them about sustainability and environmental stewardship, teach them, that chickens do lay eggs, and your eggs in the store do come from a farm at one point. And, where their food comes from, how to grow a garden, how to care for animals. Amy's kids have came to Llama Llama Camp for preschoolers,
Yep.
and that's a week-long camp that we do for 3 to 5-year-olds. And it's just teaching in nature, teaching them how to have relationships with other people, how to share, how to be without their parents, and just get along with others. It's all based on the And Weedney Llama Llama books, Llama Llama and the Bully Goat. And it's just a great time. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about those special animals that are on the farm because, like you said, these are specific sheep that are being researched to cure Huntington's disease. Can you kind of break that down a little bit more?
Yeah, so we work with glycoscience research in Brookings, South Dakota. So I always say we do the easy work. We raise the lambs, and then if they're capable of being used for the research, they go back to South Dakota. So the lambs have, or the ewes, the mamas, have a gene bred into them that produces a glycosugar that people with Huntington's disease lack. So if the lambs are born with that glycosugar, they can be used in the research. And the lamb is harvested, and the glycosugar is taken from their brain, their kidneys, and their spinal cord. And it's currently being used for mouse studies in mice with people with Huntington's disease. So or with mice with Huntington's disease. So they're in the third of 5 mouse studies, and they are finding very good results, reversing symptoms in about 6 weeks in those studies.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're kind of in a holding phase right now because of funding. So we're just continuing to breed and raise our sheep and raise our lambs, and we hold on to all the female lambs that are being born so that when we can enter the research phase again, we have lots of mamas.
So the research phase is totally paused now?
It's paused right now because there's just not, GlycoScience is looking for more funding to keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
The difficult part is because this is a natural, I guess I could say medication.
Occurring.
Yeah, because it's occurring in animals and cannot be made synthetically in a manufacturing facility. There's just not a lot of funding out there. Pharmaceutical companies don't necessarily want to come after it because it can't be synthetically made somewhere else.
Yeah, it's not not proper. Okay, so you can't use them now, but you said something interesting where it's like if that one has this protein or I don't know what
the glycosugar.
Yes.
Yep.
Does that mean not every single one of them has it?
Yeah, not all of them have it. Probably about a quarter of the lambs born, about 25%, would carry the gene because they have to get the gene from mom and from dad, and they get passed 2 genes from each. So it's kind of the same as, when you're having babies and what color eyes they're going to have or what color hair. So yeah. So
and
is
it a
25%.
simple blood test when they're born?
Yeah, we just do a clip from their ear, a little tissue clip, and we put it in the freezer. When all the babies have been born, we send the clips to GlycoScience. They test them, see which ones can be used, and if they can be used, they go back to GlycoScience at about 12 weeks old.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that research has paused.
Yeah, it's really sad. We're hoping, we just keep trying to get out and talk to people like this, and we're just hoping the right person that needs to hear it to help it keep moving forward will hear it.
Yep.
And you just keep moving forward one step at a time. And so we bred this year. We'll have about 40 babies born. We will keep all of the females that are born so that we can continue to breed in the future. And hopefully in the next year or so, the research will get started again.
Who gets to name all 40 of those babies?
Oh, that is a great question. So we ask for people to sponsor our lambs. And if you sponsor a lamb, it's $300 for the year. You get to come out and visit them. You get to give them a name. Your name and your lamb's name goes up on a board in the barn. We have lots of really fun names up there right now. Some of them are named after people who have died of Huntington's. Like Muggy, my sister sponsored Muggy, and that was my mom. And there's Elisa, and that's my sister who passed away. But there's also fun names, like my brother named his Oreo Blizzard, because he was sitting at the Dairy Queen with his granddaughters, and they said, name it Oreo Blizzard. And we have a Henrietta, we have a Rocco, we have a Rosie. So if anyone wants to be a sponsor, you can contact us and you get to name a lamb and come out and visit. 2 little boys, like 3 and 4 years old, last fall at our fundraiser, their grandma sponsored 2 lambs, and they named one T-Rex and one Candy Toy. So we just have some fun names.
Some fun, interesting names. Yeah, it keeps things interesting.
Yeah.
Lynn Kotrba is here with us from Harvest Hope Farm. You can find them at harvesthopefarm.org as well. Welcome back to KFGO for a cause. Lynn Kotrba is here with us. Neil Van Dam from the Van Dam Financial Group. But Lynn is with Harvest Hope Farm. Neil's like, I sort of personally want to know more about these camps because he's got a couple of concrete kids at home. So let's talk a little bit more about camps, and then we'll tell you about a Llama Llama Wine with Mama, because it's not just kids that can have fun out at Harvest Hope Farm. But let's talk about specifically, because there's a couple of different camp options depending on the age of your kiddos.
Yeah, so right now we're gearing up for Llama Llama Camp. Llama Llama Camp is for 3 to 5-year-olds, and it's a Monday through Thursday camp. They come out for 2 hours. They get to interact with all the animals, but the feature animal, I guess, is the llamas. So they learn about social skills, social emotional development. They do everything in nature. That's one thing about all of our camps. The only buildings they're in on the farm are the growing dome and the barn. Otherwise, they're all outside, even if it is raining. But yeah, Llama Llama Camp, they get to feed lambs a bottle if we have lambs. They get to groom the llamas. They get to do arts and crafts. They read a book each day that focuses on, well, it's always a Llama Llama book, so it might focus on sharing or not being a bully goat or things like that. They go on scavenger hunts. They are in the pollinator garden. Just lots of fun things to get those little ones out in nature and get some of those wiggles out. So we have 3 sessions of that in the summer. We have a preschool teacher that teaches it, and she's wonderful. And then all summer long, we have farm camp, which meets Wednesdays from 3 to 5 or from 6 to 8. This year we have 34 kids in farm camp, and they come out every Wednesday.
Full?
We're full for farm camp.
You're full for. I feel like these camps fill up fast
our
too.
Farm
You
camp was full by February, end of February, and we're in our 8th year of farm camp. So those kids come out for 11 weeks on Wednesdays. They come out for 2 hours. They each raise their own raised garden bed from planting to harvest. So this Wednesday was our first camp. They planted their gardens. They got to pick what they put in there. So every week they tend to their garden. And then they work with the animals. We do STEM activities in nature. They learn about the growing dome. We have a lot of downed trees right now in our forest. So one of the things they're going to do this summer is have a fort building contest out of sticks and branches. Just no devices. They're just in nature, getting dirty, being kids, learning about what farm life is like. We added a new camp this year called Art in Agriculture. And those camps are in July and August, and we have openings for those still. And that's another 4-day camp, 2 hours each day. They will spend the first 45 minutes to an hour learning about something agriculture related. So it might be the pollinator garden, or it might be wool and fiber from the sheep and the llamas. And then the last half of the camp, they make an art project that revolves around whatever they learned about.
That's so cool.
They're going to make sugar pots this year, the day that they learn about pollinator gardens. So then they can bring the sugar pot home and put it in their garden to attract bees and butterflies. And or like they might do something with wool and fiber from the animals the day that they learn about those. So yeah, that's those are 3 main camps. We also have a Bible camp that we do in July. That one is full already as well. And that is another week-long camp that goes 3 hours each day for 1 week. So those are our kid experiences. The farm camp fills up the quickest. We have the most following with that because it's been around the longest, but that's for 6 to 13-year-olds. Our art camps go, we have a preschool camp, a middle school, or a preschool camp, elementary camp, and then a middle and high school camp for that. And Llama Llama Camp is 3 to 5-year-olds.
I love it. Yeah. And for Llama Llama Wine with Mama.
Yes.
So the adults can get a little bit of a farm experience for a few hours and enjoy an adult beverage. Yes. That's coming up.
Yeah. So we have Llama Llama Wine with Mama. It's a fundraiser. It's on Thursday, June 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. You do need a ticket to attend, and it's for ladies 21 plus. It's just a fun night on the farm for them to see the sights, hear the noises, smell the smells, be out in nature. And we have a light meal. We have wine. We have, I'll be sharing about our mission and our story. The funds raised from this event go towards awareness and research for Huntington's disease. And then this year, our activity, every year at this event, we do an activity. And this year, it's a canvas painting activity. So we have two
fun.
art teachers who are going to lead the ladies in painting a sheep in the pasture. So it's just a fun night for ladies to come out and enjoy. And I feel like so many times parents are just sending their kids to the farm and then they leave and their kids learn all about it and the parents don't.
Yeah.
So this is our way of getting some of the moms out. And then we also always have volunteer opportunities for businesses, for whoever wants to come out, church groups, youth groups, businesses, anyone who wants to, we can find you a volunteer project to do to get more involved and learn more about the farm.
What did the volunteer projects look like? And are those year round or are they just in the summer when the camps are going on?
Typically, we have opportunities from like March through about November.
Okay.
Winter's harder because we don't have a lot to do outside, except now that we have our growing dome, we do sometimes have volunteer opportunities in there in the winter, just not super long ones. But in the spring, lots of getting the gardens ready for camp, helping with fencing, helping with barn cleanup, helping get the pig fences up, just lots of like upkeep around the farm after winter and after spring. In the fall, we have a fundraiser in September, so we have groups out before that to help us get ready for the fundraiser. And then garden cleanup at the end of the season and getting everything kind of buttoned up for winter. And yeah. So.
And I just have to mention this because we talked about it before we went on the air, but I was so excited to see that one of the preschools in town, which both of our children attended, they actually take all of their leftovers from their lunches and bring it out to feed the sheep, which is just so brilliant.
Yeah. So, we work with Peace Academy and they collect their, them and St. Joe's in Moorhead. They have whole food kitchens. So they keep all their kitchen scraps and we go and pick up 5-gallon buckets every week, bring them back, feed them to the chickens and the pigs. And
chickens and the pigs. Okay.
Not the sheep. Sometimes
sheep,
the sheep will get some things in there, but it's easier just to dump the buckets to the pigs and the chickens because they can have everything will eat everything.
Yeah.
And it keeps a lot of waste from the landfill.
Yeah.
And if for some reason we can't feed it to them, it goes into our compost pile and is used in the gardens at some point as well. Yeah. So just a little way to work with a couple of different places in town and just build those community connections. And which is another thing. We do bring our animals to schools. We bring
my daughter
them to businesses.
My daughter got to watch one of the chickens hatch this year.
Yes.
It was... The chickens hatching were a really big deal.
Yeah, that was a huge deal at preschool. Yeah. Yes. And then we brought chicks in as well. My little guy and I brought chicks in to show the kids the chicks. Only a couple got out of the box and ran around the room. So that was good. But we bring our llamas and our donkey. And another program that just came to mind. So we do a farm camp on wheels as well. So we're in schools all year round too. We're in second grade classrooms in Moorhead. Which has been a great connection with those schools as well, and just teaching some ag education. And
keep bringing all your animals to those concrete kids.
Yeah, they just love it. So,
Lynn Kotrba is with Harvest Hope Farm. HarvestHopeFarm.org is where you can find them and all their information about their camps or just their mission. You guys have a great website. Or if you want to get on there and learn more about the Llama Llama Wine with Mama event coming up on June 19th. Lynn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.